Okie dokie, maintenance time. So all of my bikes are tubeless. That means there's no tube in the tyre. So I've got a sealant in the tyre. It's like this stuff here. Stands, no tubes, tyre sealant. And then this is the better one, race sealant. It's got little particles in it. So when you get the bike first, you put the tyre on, seal it, open again, pour some sealant in. So that means when it gets a puncture, the sealant will seal it from the inside. Now, the advantages are you've no inner tube, so it's lighter. The tyre bends better because no inner tube. And you don't have to be fixing punctures all the time. The disadvantages are it's hard to get set up sometimes. It can be a little bit frustrating. And the sealant dries up and you don't really know when it's dried up. So I just did the road bike, the Gerard. It was fuck all in that, so I was out riding on that last week. Could have got a puncture with no sealant and would have left me high and dry. So I'm going to go through all the other bikes. So the Gerard gravel, 51 gravel, take off the wheel, check the sealant, add some sealant, and we're good. So the other thing you're going to need is a track pump and a compressor. Now, if you don't have a compressor, you can buy one of these. So basically it's like pressurized container. You pump it up through here and then that has a big blast of air. So in order to seal the tyre, you have to put the air in super fast in order to tire the bed, and you'll hear it go pop, pop, pop. If you do it with the pump, it'll just squirt out everywhere, it doesn't go in. So these are a good alternative. Right, so take off the wheel, check the yoke, and we go from there. So 6mm Allen key. These are straight through axles. So the axle comes all the way through, wheel pops out, and then we just leave that aside. If you're going to be doing any maintenance at all, bike stand, great little investment. I never used to use them. Everything I used to do was on the ground, but you're not bending over all the time. So let the air out. Now I noticed with this bike, the back wheel was starting to leak. That can be one or two things. You've got a puncture or there's not enough sealant to seal around the valve. And I'm thinking this bike I have since February. The sealant's used up. Just break the seal a little bit. And let's have a look here. Check it on the. But it looks pretty dry. So we're going to break the seal, pop open the tyre, and then see what's going on. Now I'm only going to open the tyre a little bit. Then if I turn the wheel down, there is nothing bone dry in there, nothing. There should be liquid inside, nothing. Now this stuff, stands, race fluid, it's recommended by everybody. I haven't tried any other ones. I've tried the normal stands, but this one's got little particles in it. And when you move the wheel around, you can hear them. Give it a good shake. And I'm gonna put probably about, I don't know, 50mm, about that much. So you've got a good little, maybe a bit more, good little bit in there. Move that around in the wheel. I'm not going to be too fussy on these. I could be really fussy, take off the tyre, clean off the old shit, but I haven't got the fucking patience for that. So I get this tire back on. Tire's on. Next thing I'm gonna do, I get the track pump and I'm gonna pump this thing up to about 100 pounds pressure per square inch. So, which where shit gets dangerous. So that's to 5 bar. Tighten it up. And this has got like a release valve where it lets all the air out. You screw that onto the valve and you'll hear the wheel pop. So put the wheel back on. Give it a little spin around so the sealant is moving. Screw this little yoke on. Make sure everything is tight. Okay, and then just release this. Hear the wheel. And once it's popped like that, you have a seal. Boom. Shin a wheel. That was the easiest one I've done. Normally it's not so simple. But once I hear that pop, I know that the tire is bedded, everything's sealed. Give that little spin around. And you can hear the sealant in there with all the particles. Now do the back one and do the 51 as well. So write that down, because the biggest thing with this is you got to do it like in the summer. I'm going to have to do it more often, because if I leave that bike out in the sun, say I pull into a cafe, that's going to evaporate, heat up, evaporate the sealant. It all goes hard. So in the winter it's less, but every kind of start the season, end the season. So do the back, do those two, and then we're done. So fix it yourself.